1940, Nazi Germany seizes control of France. The streets of Paris fall silent, but beneath the surface, a quiet rebellion begins. And at its heart were women, armed not with guns, but with bicycles, false papers, and unbreakable courage. They risked everything: torture, imprisonment, death, to smuggle soldiers, carry intelligence, and defy the Gestapo. This is the story of the women of the French resistance: Lucie Aubrac, Simone Segouin, Andrée de Jongh, and the hidden network of women who helped liberate France. Keep watching to the end to learn about one of the more notable Americans the French helped rescue. After the fall of France, life became a maze of ration cards, propaganda, and fear. But resistance began almost immediately, and women were often the first to act. Men were easily spotted, rounded up, and monitored. But women, nurses, couriers, teachers, could move quietly through cities and countryside, carrying messages and smuggling fugitives. The French resistance wasn't one organization. It was a web of secret cells, code names, and missions. Many women worked in silence, never recognized, but their actions helped shape the course of history. Lucie Aubrac was a schoolteacher, a mother, and one of the boldest leaders of the French resistance. Her husband, Raymond, was part of an underground network in Lyon. But when he was captured by the Gestapo in 1943, Lucie launched a daring plan. Disguised as a pregnant woman, she confronted the Gestapo commander himself, claiming to be engaged to a prisoner named Raymond. With nerves of steel, she persuaded them to release him temporarily to finalize their marriage. Days later, Lucie led an ambush on the Gestapo convoy, freeing her husband and several others. Her courage became legendary, so much so that even decades later, she was honored by the French government for her role in undermining the Nazi occupation. Simone Segouin was just 17 when she joined the French resistance. Under the alias Nicole Minet, armed with a stolen German submachine gun and forged papers, she became a courier, then a fighter with the Francs Tireurs et Partisans, the FTP. She carried messages hidden inside loaves of bread, derailed enemy trains, and captured German soldiers during the liberation of Chartres. When Paris was liberated days later, she rode in with the Free French Forces, a teenage girl who had become a national hero. I didn't think about fear, only freedom. Simone Segouin. While others fought inside France, Andrée de Jongh built bridges to freedom. Born in Belgium, she founded the Comet Line, an escape network that smuggled downed Allied pilots from Belgium through France to neutral Spain. She personally guided dozens of airmen across occupied territory, sometimes walking hundreds of miles on foot. In 1943, the Gestapo captured her, but even under torture, she refused to betray a single name. After the war, Andrée worked as a nurse in leprosy hospitals in Africa, a life dedicated entirely to service. Many women of the resistance never lived to see victory. They were arrested, tortured, executed, their names lost to history. But without them, the Allies' success in Normandy and the liberation of France would have been impossible. The information they gathered, railway positions, troop movements, coded messages, paved the way for Operation Overlord. Freedom is not free. It was bought with courage, often by those history forgot. Lucie Aubrac, Simone Segouin, Andrée de Jongh, names that deserve to be remembered. They were teachers, daughters, dreamers, turned into warriors for liberty, dedicated to all the women who resisted oppression, then and now. If their courage moved you, share this video so the world never forgets the women who outsmarted the Gestapo. If their courage moved you, share this video so the world never forgets the women who outsmarted the Gestapo. And now, let's find out who one of the more notable Americans, the French, rescued. On the morning of March 5th, 1944, Flight Officer Charles Yeager strapped himself into his P-51 fighter and joined a mission to attack targets in the Bordeaux area of France. The 21-year-old Yeager occupied the tail-end Charlie position of his four-plane flight, the most vulnerable place to be. As the flight neared its objective, 3 German FW-190 fighters suddenly attacked from the rear, targeting Yeager's P-51. Caught by surprise, the young pilot tried to evade his attackers, but to no avail. The enemy's gunfire slammed into his aircraft, severing his control cables and forcing Yeager to jump for his life. As he floated to Earth, one of the FW-190s turned and dove on the vulnerable pilot with the intent of finishing him off. Suddenly, the German plane burst into a fireball, its pilot so intent on his deadly mission that he had not seen the P-51 on his tail. Within minutes after his landing, Yeager was surrounded by French resistance fighters and began his escape journey that would take him to Spain, Gibraltar, and back to England. 3.5 years later, the young pilot would make his mark in history as the first to break the sound barrier.
Comments and suggestions for future videos are always welcome.
Please like and subscribe as well as ring that reminder bell for future videos. And thank you for watching. À bientôt.